David Mendoza. Welcome to the Brian Nichols Show. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Just want to make sure folks heard me right. I said Coptic, not cop Christians. We're not talking about the police forces, but no, we're talking about how we look at, when we're dealing with minorities and dealing with respecting the rights of minorities. We're going to talk a little bit more about that and look at Coptic Christians as a use case. But David, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, do us a favor, introduce yourself to the Brian Nichols Show audience and why your focus on these not gun-carrying, badge-toting Christians, but rather Coptic Christians.
Yeah, thank you. I studied historical theology in graduate school, so my background really is in religion theology. I'm interested in history of ideas, religious trends, and different Christian groups around the globe. Coptic Christianity is something that I think most people don't really do a whole lot of research on at the graduate school level, so it's something I'm really interested in kind of exploring and getting myself more familiar with, especially as it relates to public policy issues. So yeah, that's kind of that.
Love it. Well, let's do this. Set the stage for us, right? Because you're right. Lots of folks, yours truly included, we're not familiar with these Coptic Christians, or cops, as you so affectionately call them in your article over at Real Clear Religion. So, David, set the stage for us. Who are the Coptic Christians, and why is this a focus of today's conversation when it comes to looking at how we can start to talk about folks of different ethno-religious groups?
Yeah, the Coptic Christians really are an ancient Christian group. They go back to St. Mark the Evangelist, at least that's how they trace their history, going really back to that apostolic era of Christianity. And it's really that era that shapes much of the Coptic Church's teachings and practices, even to this day. One scholar described that era as really the bridge between the Egypt of the pyramids and the pharaohs and the modern state of Egypt. But they have existed in Egypt as really their own distinct ethnic and religious community that is a minority today after the Muslim conquest of Egypt and bringing in the modern state of Egypt. So they still exist, though they are a minority within the broader Egypt population.
Yeah, I would bet that would be a fair thing to assume. Talk to us then about what they're facing over in the Middle East.
They face a number of things. The Coptics are one minority group among a number of minority groups in the Middle East, and we tend to not really pay much attention to minorities like the Druze or the Kurds. And the Coptics face a number of persecutions, I guess you could say.